How's it going, folks? Mega Brain here. So what we're doing today is we're adding to the channel. Pretty much I'm going to be vlogging moving forward. I'm still going to be doing the in-studio conversations that are more pointed and subjected, but I wanted to add the vlogging because I'm out in nature talking about things a little bit more in depth, things that I care about, some things that, you know, just interest me, that I can have deeper, longer conversations about. I just think it's cool. I think it's a more natural, raw conversation that you get out of me. And again, like I said, I'll still be doing a studio setup, but this is just the adding to it. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was weightlifting and the dangers of weightlifting if you're doing it wrong, because that's what I went through this past couple of months. Back in December, this is a funny story real quick. I was in my bathroom washing my hands after I had used the bathroom, and while I was wiping my hands on the towel that was hanging from my shower, I looked over into the mirror and saw that the side of my body looked like the side of a refrigerator. And you know, that shit really messed with me. There's a lot of noise going on, so I'm testing this Sony ZV-1's onboard mic right now, so let me know how that goes. But yeah, so I noticed how fat I was in comparison to 2018 when I was in fairly good shape, and I decided that, you know, I wasn't gonna be a big old fat boy and decided that I was gonna go get some weightlifting and exercise equipment, and that's what I did. And so I got a weight bar, I got some weights, I got about 70 pounds in weights. The weight bar was about 40 pounds or something like that. And so I didn't buy a weight bench. And I ended up saying screw the weight bench, because I didn't want to wait for 2 weeks for it to come in Amazon. I didn't want to give them the amount of money they wanted and have to wait 2 weeks for the actual weight bench to come, which I should have, which was very irresponsible and stupid of me. But I decided, hey, I don't need a weight bench. I'll just lift weights on the floor. And so I sat down, and I sat down on my floor. I began to do the workout regimen. I sat down on my floor in a 90-degree angle, and at the end of my feet were the weights. I would pull the weights from my feet up to my chest, then lay back, and then push the weights up, you know, 3 sets of 40 or 50. And I did this for a couple of months, from December until right before the height of the pandemic in March, when I got laid off from my job and everything was closing down. All the businesses had to close down in Boston. So right before that is when the injury came about. All of the stress that I was putting on my body in the wrong way had come and take its toll. So that day I felt sharp pains going up my neck. I felt sharp pains splitting down my chest and around my chest area, shoulder blades. It was like everything activated that same day. And when I went to sleep that night, I noticed that I had some blockage inside my nose. It was crazy. And I felt, and it made me paranoid, because I couldn't tell the difference between that blockage and my chest breathing. So I was paranoid that I might have come down with the coronavirus, and it was kind of like karma, because I was talking so much trash about how coronavirus was being overhyped. So I felt like, oh man, if this was real, this is karma coming to bite me in the ass. Excuse my language. But it didn't end up being coronavirus, so you guys don't have to worry about that, because I never came down with any symptoms. Like, I never had a fever. I never had actual chest breathing issues, because what I found out was it was a nasal thing and it wasn't a chest thing, because when I would close off my nasal airways and breathe through my chest and my mouth, no problem at all. So we X'd out that corona stuff because there were actually no other symptoms that could have been connected to corona. So I still had the problem though, because my chest being so busted and heavy, it felt like I had a metal chest plate on my chest, and it was making my breathing feel as if it was difficult, even though it wasn't my breathing that was difficult. It was just that my chest was so busted that it felt so heavy. So I was dealing with that. I was dealing with the nasal issue, and that had something to do with the pain shooting up my neck and the sides. Also, my shoulder blades and my shoulders were swollen, and this pain was 24 hours a day from March, and it lasted like 24 hours a day until about the middle of June. And that's when I really started recovering. So I couldn't go to the clinic and get any help because the doctors weren't seeing anybody who didn't say that they had coronavirus or thought that they were in contact with coronavirus. So I had to just suffer through it. And who wanted to go to the hospital anyway with all of that incentive that the hospitals had to create COVID-19 deaths, because they got paid money to, they got paid money for every COVID-19 death that happened inside their state or city. So it was terrifying having to deal with that thought anyways. But eventually, after they opened back up, it got so bad that I thought I was gonna die. And I thought I was gonna die because of a combination of things that happened closer to my healing time. And this was the swelling in my shoulders got unbearably painful. Along with this was something that was stupid on my part, and what that was one night I woke up and I was hungry. I had an empty stomach because I was bedridden so much that I didn't really do anything besides lay down and eat. So this day, on this day, I woke up. It was about 11 o'clock at night, and there was a bag of hot fries on my table, full bag, unopened. I opened up that bag of hot fries, and I ate the whole bag of hot fries. Also, drunk a liter of water. And some of you might already know what happened to me after that, but I'm gonna tell you guys anyway, because anybody who hasn't gone through this, I never want you to go through this. I got upper gas inside my chest, and it was excruciating. It was combined with all the pain that I've been going through all these months. So upper gas congestion, or I don't know exactly the scientific term, but upper gas is basically when you have gas in your chest. It feels like a bubble is in your chest that you need to burp and you can't burp. It's the most excruciating thing I've ever gone through in my life. To this point, I've never had such pain. And I'm talking about the upper gas combined with the weightlifting injury. And so what I was doing, because I didn't know what upper gas was at the time, I was drinking water that wasn't helping. The water was basically just flushing the bubble down my chest. It was flushing the bubble, but water doesn't help. So the water would flush it down for maybe 10 seconds, and the bubble would just come back up. So I was walking around with a bottle of water because I didn't know what the hell to do. The pain was so incredible that I was just like, I gotta just keep drinking water until I can fart or burp. And what I didn't know was water didn't help, because the spices, I guess it's cayenne pepper that they're using now inside hot fries, it doesn't work. So at that point, I thought I was gonna die, and I said I gotta go to the clinic. So I told my mother what was going on, because I didn't tell any of my family, because I didn't want them to be stressed out. My mother wouldn't have been able to sleep ever again my brother and my sister would have been frazzled in the brain if I was walking around telling them that I thought I was gonna die. But in reality, I thought I was gonna pass. I really thought it was the end for me. And I remember taking all my money out of my accounts and putting it inside my desk drawer so that they could have, you know, a couple of thousand to do whatever they needed to do as far as funeral arrangements or, you know, with their regular life. Because, you know, I wouldn't want them to go broke trying to have some fancy funeral for me with a bunch of people there who don't give a shit about me, excuse my language. But it was a really sad place that I was in. I took all my money out of my accounts, put it inside my desk, and said, when I go to this hospital, if I don't come back, at least I left my family whatever I had, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I felt good about that. But I went to the hospital because I was terrified that I was gonna bust a blood vessel or some kind of clotting was going on in my shoulder or my neck because of the swelling being so bad. And so I went to the hospital, and the doctor told me that wasn't the case and I didn't have to worry about, you know, a blood vessel bursting or anything. She said it was probably just bruised tissue or some swelling, whatever she said. She gave me some ibuprofen, sent me home, and that was that. I didn't tell her about the upper chest gas because I was too worried that they might try to give me a shot and knock me out, put me in the ICU, and then call my family and said I died of COVID-19 or something. That's a different conversation. But I didn't tell her about that. But I was relieved that I wasn't dying from my chest swelling. I mean, my shoulder swelling. So I went back out, and on a whim, listen to this one, on a whim, because I don't even eat like fast food that much anymore. But on a whim, I went into a McDonald's and bought a Big Mac. I bought a Big Mac and some fries and went home and ate it. I took an ibuprofen and I went to sleep. And when I woke back up the next day, my swelling inside my shoulder was fading down. It was getting smaller and it was getting a lot less painful. And the upper chest gas was gone, essentially. The way it was before, I was like catching my breath over and over again. It was crazy. And that part went away. And, you know, I dealt with deep breathing issues for another 4 days, and then that went away. Obviously, I thank God. I was praying to God the whole time to give me my health back. And he answered my call. So I am grateful to the Lord for that, eternally grateful. But my mother didn't want me to take the pills either, so I'm grateful that, you know, I was getting better naturally. And this is kind of the point. So I didn't take any more of the ibuprofen pills. They're actually just sitting there inside, you know, my drawer right now. But this is a part of the reason I made this video, is because I want to give a shout out to Camera Conspiracies, Vegetable Conspiracies also. He has a channel named Vegetable Conspiracies. This guy named Casey Stern. This guy literally, aside from the Lord, this guy literally coached me back to health, saved me from giving up on my life. And I mean that with all of myself. I gotta cross the street. But yeah, I mean that wholeheartedly. I've been watching his channel, Camera Conspiracies and Vegetable Conspiracies, for the last 2 months. And the inspiration that I got, the knowledge I got, the learning was beautiful. Because when I was giving up on myself, when I thought it was over, he was on video saying, your body's always trying to heal itself. Never give up on your body. He was giving me dietary tips on what I should be drinking, what I should be eating during a time when, you know, your body's trying to heal. You know what I'm saying? So I can't thank him enough. He doesn't know me, but, you know, obviously I told him on his comment section that I bought a shirt and that I'd be wearing it when I did this video. So hopefully he sees it. If you guys, you know, are in contact with him, or, you know, watch his videos or whatever, you can let him know that this is here. I don't want to be a groupie like, hey, I made a video with, you know, thanking you on it. But, you know, I would appreciate if he did see it and was able to acknowledge that that he's helping somebody, that his work isn't for nothing. Even though some people might say he's kind of loony or crazy or whatever, you know, that's debatable. But the point is, what he's doing is helpful to people. I can imagine that I'm not the only person that he's been able to help get through a health crisis. And again, for that, I'm infinitely thankful. And the moral of the story is, treat your body right, folks. You know what I'm saying? We're young still. We're not really thinking about the consequences of the things that we put in our body or do to our body. We should be doing that from youth to old age. And, you know, I know some people, because I'm 36, I know some 35-year-olds, 34-year-olds that think life is over because they hit 30. I also know 24-year-olds and 25-year-olds that think life is over because they hit 25. So it's like an endless toxic cycle for people in age, when age is just age, the number of years you've been on the earth. It doesn't necessarily mean you're more healthy or less healthy because of your age. I know a Chinese lady who's 60 years old that could outrun a 24-year-old with bad knees and a bad back. And that's like not just one case. There's plenty of cases of older people being in better shape and better health than younger people, especially in this new generation of drug addicts and you know, just people who destroy themselves very early in life. So, you know, be mindful of your health and your body, because you never realize how much it means to you until it's inactive or it doesn't function properly anymore. And I had to learn that the hard way. So now I'm probably not gonna lift weights until 2021 if the world doesn't end. But I'm gonna be doing calisthenics for the rest of this year as I recover, because I'm pretty much full 100% recovered, but I don't want to push it like, oh, I feel good again, let me start pumping iron. So I'm gonna just spend the rest of the year doing calisthenics, and then I'll possibly get back into some light weightlifting, and, you know, maybe summer of 2021. But yeah, I don't want to just keep on going on just to go on. I just wanted to tell my story. I just wanted to let you guys know what I went through. Some of you guys have been watching me and, you know, watching my videos, and you can't even tell, because I didn't want to put that burden on anybody else. And I knew I wanted to talk about it, but I wanted to talk about it from a place of power, that being a place of me being totally recovered and not trying to get sympathy from you guys, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Mega Brain is the channel now. I'm still Avio Leos, but I'm rebranding myself to try and get some more subscribers, because, you know, YouTube's whole YouTube apocalypse thing going on. And if you're talking about politics, that's even worse if you're not talking about the politics that they want you to talk about. So, yeah, subscribe, folks, and, you know, let's get this party rolling. This is gonna be a cool year. Again, if the world doesn't end, this is gonna be a real strong year. I'm gonna be doing a lot more vlogging, a lot more talking, and for the people who would wonder where I've been at, why I haven't been making videos all this time, that's the reason. It's because I was recovering. So get in the comments, let me know what you guys think. I hope that this video can actually help somebody who's going through what I went through. A lot of the times these videos don't mean very much to somebody who's going through something because they're going through it, and they're like, you're just talking. When I was listening to Vegetable Conspiracies, he looked great. He looked healthy while he was talking, but I was connecting to what he was saying still because he was being genuine in what he was going through. So I'm hoping that this can help somebody else get through something that they might be going through. And again, I'm just gonna leave it right there, or I'm gonna keep talking. So get in the comments, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys have been through some health issues lately, and you know, if you've gotten through it. All right, get in the comments. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.